Sanctuary Advisory Committee meeting. I'd like to begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. And John, could you help me with that?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning.
We're not on.
Okay, my green light is on. I think everybody's green light is on. Okay, we have one absence. Barb, I hope, is doing okay. She's excused from this meeting, and everybody else is present and accounted for. Last month's minutes was posted to the internet site. I think everybody's had the chance to look at them. Is there any recommendations for revision to the May minutes? We had Mr. Jensick here, and we had also Colonel Coons in preparations for Memorial Day.
Mr. Chairman, I move they be approved.
Okay.
Second.
Seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. It's carried unanimously, so they'll put on record. Okay. Secondly, audience participation. Jay, you have anything for the group? Good morning, sir. Okay. Not having any further audience participation, we'll move to new business. I've placed there World War II monument restoration. That was added for our discussion in visiting the island as I wander around and take in the sights and sounds. I always look at the various monuments, and it looks like the surface of that monument has become marred and worn with weather. I think it was dedicated in '95, if I recall. So I did not know if just what the council's feelings are in that regard. So discussion.
Seems like the World War II monument is too small for such a historic event. When you think back when the World War II guys basically saved the world, not just exposed to some combat, but it's just a small marker there by the tree. Is that
right? It's the recognition of the 50th, 45 to 95, 50th anniversary of the closure of that conflict. But the bronze surface is marred right now. So at the least, it should be renovated so that it's in keeping with the rest of the.
Yeah. How did that marker get? How'd that marker get there? Who put it there?
Let's see. I remember some of the guys that were doing it.
Maybe Don.
Bill.
I don't remember the exact people that were involved, but it was a group of World War II vets that put it together and, as I recall, funded the marker. Mm-hmm. And then the city built the platform that it rests on.
I think it was members of the VFW and the American Legion and the Marine Corps League. I can picture some of them, but
perhaps we could ask Don to take a look at it and give us a recommendation on what it would do to what we need to restore it. Because I'm like Mr. Matthews. And these monuments, they all belong to us now. They belong to that island. So it's kind of up to us to keep them looking nice, keep them presentable, and maybe this is a good place for us to start.
Sure, and the pedestal is a little bit shorter than most of the other markers out there, so, I mean, we could look at constructing a new pedestal, raising it up so it was on par height-wise with the service memorial markers, for instance, which are about 2 feet or so high. And then sending the plaque off for reconditioning like we did with the service memorial markers. Ballpark number, I would think somewhere around were those round discs were about $150 a piece to be reconditioned. I would think this would be maybe closer to $300, $400 to be reconditioned, and then whatever the cost would be to construct a new pedestal. So that's certainly something we could look at. And
Right.
I would think for just ballpark numbers, again, off the top of my head, under $1,000, that could be reconstructed and reconditioned.
Okay.
Well,
And it,
I would certainly suggest that we move that way, but how about the rest of you?
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely
that
should be.
Needs to be redone, yeah.
Yes,
If it'll
definitely.
run $500 to $1,000 to do that, I think that's $500 or
I do too.
$1,000.
And that's, again, off the top of the head, but let me
ballpark figure.
take a look at it and
Sure.
get an estimate on the reconditioning of the bronze and the shipping costs and everything, and then rebuilding that. And I'll come back with you next month.
And then, we're always trying to look out ahead, and maybe, for Veterans Day, that would be an opportunity to recognize the revision and the restoration of that monument. So, and I think that should be doable if we decide
I would
to go
think
that
so,
way.
yeah.
It's doable, I think.
Do you use the same company that did the cenotaphs, or do you keep it local here to try to restore that?
Well, we looked at having it done locally in place, and it actually was more expensive than sending it off to have it done. And we sent it back to the foundry, and they actually use a higher quality lacquer, and it should last a little bit longer. It's a more UV resistant product than what you can typically do locally. So,
Okay.
Okay.
It's the group that did the branches to the service.
yes, they did the
plaques.
service memorial plaques. They reconditioned those.
We know now they do a good job and
Yes.
a good price.
Oh,
So.
absolutely, yeah.
Does this require a motion? I mean, should we make a
Well,
motion?
let me move forward and investigate it, and then I'll come back with you next month and give you some closer estimates.
That'd be helpful.
Okay?
I think that'd be
I
good.
also like the idea of looking for something like the D-Day or something, some day to either have it part of our Veterans Day or even just another occasion to go out there.
Yeah, Veterans Day is probably a good
More
a
realistic.
good
Realistic
goal
timeframe, yeah.
to be done by. Getting the bronze marker shipped off and reconditioned, it could take a week. It could take 6 weeks. So, they were very good to us last time, and we had a quick turnaround on those. But
And that one's epoxy down just like the rest of them?
yes.
It has the epoxy where you'd actually have
Well,
to take it
I
off.
think that one is actually, there's 4 screws that
Oh, it's
hold it
screw-
down,
okay.
and that you'll see little star medallions in the corners, and typically
yeah.
those cover or that's where the screws
The
are.
screws, okay.
And there's probably epoxy underneath it also, but
Okay. Yeah, I would recommend we do that.
Okay. All right. Don, thanks.
I'll get back with you next month.
Cool. Very good. Okay. The second item for the new business that's there is just a mention of Mr. Hepfer's memorial service, and that was held on Saturday the 31st at 2 p.m., or it was at least scheduled to be. Rob, any information regarding? No? Okay. And the reason to mention this is the memorial services for a man that served his nation and a man that served the city is totally consistent with the vision of Alex McWilliam on the island. And the fact that we have the island being taken advantage of in that manner, I think is exactly what we're hoping for. And so I just want to say I'm glad that we can offer that to the veterans of our town. Okay. Moving to old business. Recap for Memorial Day 2014 and Veterans Memorial Island Sanctuary. I just wanted to bring that up to obtain any input from the council and then make a couple of notes. Any remarks?
I just thought it went off really well. Very nice.
Yeah, fantastic job.
Everyone seemed to enjoy it and a good turnout. I don't know, do we know how many programs we gave out? Although I dropped the programs off about 7:45, and I guess they didn't get started to give out in time, or as early as I'd hoped. But maybe some people got on there without getting one. But that sometimes is a good indication of how many people came on the island.
Rob Slezak, Recreation Director. What happened was the Boy Scouts did a tremendous job. I will tell you, I really applaud them. and the overall activity was outstanding. To let you know, I know that they did go out into the audience and hand those out to folks that may not have gotten them. So I know they were very active in doing that. I will tell you, my estimate was probably somewhere between 12 and 1,400 people attended the event. Outstanding attendance. I even told Tony that the one thing I really, really think helped a lot this year was getting the word out of bringing chairs and everything else, so the folks got in the shade and sat in that shade, and I think that protected a lot of individuals and folks. So I would tell you about 12 to 1,400. How many brochures did you print out? A couple thousand?
2,500.
That's what I thought.
From the stage, it looked like more people than I'd ever seen before.
Yes,
but sometimes that depends on where they congregate.
Right, and I do my estimate, so that can be off. But I think your crowd was a great crowd, and something to be proud of for all of you.
I think we I think we all know that's about the largest crowd we've ever had on the island for any particular service. And I really would like to thank the city of Vero Beach for making a video which has been viewed by so many people in this community. And that's a real special gift to the public. And that video has it ran very consistently from the time it started until first thing Tuesday morning. And right now, it is still available in case anybody would like to see it if they go to the website for the City of Vero Beach and just look on the left, and when you see Veterans Memorial Island, click on that, and the video's still there. But Holt Sutherland deserves a lot of credit. And there's some other credits coming, but I'm going to do it under my matters. Okay?
One other thing I noticed, and I like to see, that I remember as a kid here in Vero, was the parades. And it was nice to see the color guards come in from the south end of the island there and come past. I kind of like that. It was nice to see that. It was nice of reminiscing as a kid, that you see everybody come marching by, and you just don't see parades in Vero Beach anymore like that.
Not too many.
And it's nice to see that the guys and the ladies did that, and I appreciate that.
Another thing about that, too, was when they dismissed the color guards, they were there, and we were kind of all there together, of course, for the cake and the celebration of the 50th anniversary. But when we have a pass and review and they march the colors off, then it's like the color guards go away and go to their car, and some of us are still there. So it was also nice that not only did they parade in, but then dismissed in place, so we were all kind of there all together for a little while to thank them for coming and chat with them a little bit.
Oh, yes.
Mr. Chair, thank you. I got a lot of feedback from the community. What they really enjoyed also was the history of the island from all the speakers, and they just enjoyed that immensely. And also the guest speaker gave quite a bit of history, the chaplain. So the program, everything I heard was outstanding the way it was put together, and people do appreciate. They appreciated that it was put on tape, or on a DVD rather. So.
Thank you. Well, I swore to myself that I'd have lessons learned compiled by the time I got here today, but that's still a work in progress. I was just, as we were talking, jotting some notes down, but for this ceremony, I think, Rob, you probably picked up on it as well. We had between 7 or 8 youth organizations. You began with the Fife and Drum Corps, then you had the Vero Beach High School Band, then you had the Air Force Junior ROTC, then you had the Navy Junior ROTC, then you had the Civil Air Patrol, then you had 1 or 2 troops of Boy Scouts. I think the idea of sharing the history of the island, sharing the sacrifice by the people that gave their lives, and then the people in the community that gave their lives to remember that, came across. And I just want to say, from the bottom of my heart, I stood there and I watched the color guards, and it wasn't the hottest floor today, but the Fife and Drum Corps with the head dress that they had on, which is a vertical one, and to see young men and young women there in ceremonial attire in the direct sunshine, and the care that was given to them with providing them water, walking up to us, it taught other lessons. I mean, and then for the younger folks to share with the water with those that were disabled, I think spoke volumes. The other part is what Amelie mentioned. The fact that we had video support from the city was tremendous. The fact that we had streaming live, I know it was broadcast throughout the United States. Anybody that had a connection, it went well. Also, in my mind, I was just running through the funding that was provided without compensation. I mean, if you talk about the cost associated with videoing, you talk about the cost associated with streaming live, you look at the cost for moving the golf carts. Golf carts were brought in from Palm Bay. We had 5 golf carts. So that's, all of those things cost money, and it was provided. The press support, 32963, Scripps newspapers, was super. I think it prepared the day, and it went well. Also, the private organizations, Pilot Club, that helped pay for the cakes. Private businesses, individuals, the Egan Foundation that helped defray the cost for the painting, and what I would like to do, Don and Rob, I have copies of these are note cards, and it was made, and it's just a token from me to both of you for your sections, departments, offices, assistants. Thank you. And then I've also purchased copies for the members of the council too.
Thank you.
So, and Mr. O'Connor, what can I say? I mean, your staff.
Give him some.
Your staff was incredible. I also, may I give you this? I knew you were off. You were in North Carolina?
No, Alaska.
Alaska. Okay, so you were at the other end of, of the 50 states, but I think you would be proud. And Mr. Sutherland, again, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, if I may,
Yeah.
I am very proud of the folks that work with me here in the city of Vero Beach. I mean, we have a great staff. We've been through some hard years, and the leadership that has been given by the department directors have been phenomenal. And I think in Rob's case, being a department director, and in Don's case, working with Monty Falls is just, it really takes a lot to bring a team this size together, but they do a great job of doing it. And Memorial Island just stands as one of those monuments to all of us that we're very proud of. It reflects that of Vero Beach and the qualities that we have. And the work that they do is really, a lot of it is, the care and the desire because they enjoy doing it, which is very important. So, again, I am very proud of what these folks do. Hopefully, and reflective of what you all, the comments that you've made, I think is outstanding. And even though I was in Alaska, it was one of those that we could at least understand what was going on. I had my iPad with me, so. But again, thank you for the comments and thank you for the cards.
You're welcome.
One quick final note on that.
Yeah.
I think 2 of the board members that used to sit here on the board would be very proud of that. I think Helen would have said, yep, you did a good job, and I think Doug Horton would have said, hey, you know what, that's good.
That's right.
They did a great job, and I think they're both sitting up there going, yep, can't wait till next year.
Good.
Just 2 things, and then I'll let Alma Lee close on this bullet. But one of the highlights for me personally was having Lee G. Smith do the painting of the Memorial Island. And, sir, so you're aware, and this is to come up, we do have that painting paid for. So I'll need to get with the council and the Veterans Council to work the logistics. It's on display right now at the Veterans Store out at the mall. Eventually, I believe that the Veterans Council will have it displayed here. So it's it's something that I think reflects Vero and the tribute that we give our veterans.
And you know where that would look nice? Right there.
I'm not. Okay, ma'am.
We could find a place for it in a hurry, can't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
No, when I said I had some other remarks to make, they're right in line, because we really are indebted to the City Recreation Department. And Jim, you said so, and we couldn't agree more. And the Public Works Department. That Public Works Department, they treat the island like it was their own home yard. And we really appreciate that. But more than that, the people in Vero Beach appreciate that. That pristine island just stands out as no others. And the Recreation Department, Rob, you and your team, they're just always there. And we just want you to know. And this one was special because it was the anniversary. But your people, they do such a magnificent job, and there's never a question. They're always there. And then we have lots of others. But also to Lee Smith, the painting that lady has done of the island is just magnificent. And I was thrilled. I'm sorry. I thank you. I really was thrilled to receive the gift that I was given. I will always treasure that. And as I said, when I first saw that picture, I thought, "Oh, gracious, I love that." I thought that was somebody's photograph. But I found out I was giving Carla all the credit which she deserves for helping us with the programs. But needless to say, it was a wonderful event, and it never would have happened without the dedication and the desires of not only the people sitting here, but all the people who worked to make it happen. So I just thank you for letting me have a part of it. But I just want to, I just want to tell everybody else that we need them and we appreciate them. So thank you, sir.
Sure. You're welcome. Okay. Chairman's matters, memorial requests. I think all of us on the committee, and probably Rob and Don as well, and council members periodically get phone calls asking about recognizing somebody on the island. And I wanted to take this opportunity to recognize that there's a lot of people that have contributed to it, but the ordinance now prohibits individual recognition on the island, and we would, we would love that support to continue for the island. So if you are interested in assisting with the island, the upkeep of the island, or recognizing someone there, one suggestion may be just to contribute to the city and just state on there for Veterans Memorial Island. But if there is something in addition to that, I would just touch base with the city. Riverside Park does not have a prohibition to that, but the island itself, no individual recognition is there. So I hope that allows you to recognize your loved ones and those that you think are important, and to support the island. And of course, we will gladly recognize you in our thoughts here. But as far as something permanent on the island, that's not allowed. So, okay. All right. The painting, I think we've covered that pretty well. If you are interested, the painting itself is on display out at the Veterans Victory Center at the mall. A portion of the copies of the painting will go back to the veterans of Indian River County. Lee has graciously said that she would do that, so there'll be copies there as well as the little note cards, and they're quite reasonable, and they'll be out there. One other final addition, visiting the island this weekend, there was a Boy Scout Eagle recognition ceremony under the national colors. I I'd finished my run, and I was cooling down over in Riverside Park when I heard the speakers, and I thought to myself, huh. So I strolled across the bridge, and I didn't interrupt it, but I asked the troop who they were and who was in charge, as a good soldier as I am. And the Troop 513 was recognizing the grandson of Mayor Smith receiving his Eagle Award. And I encouraged them in the future to contact the Recreation Department so that they could go through proper procedures to get access to the island. But I know their hearts were in the right direction. So with that, numbers matters.
I know on the island it's posted no sporting events, but I had a few gentlemen ask, one as a veteran, what about if somebody goes on there to do Tai Chi or whatever? I mean, would that be considered, I mean, I guess it's kind of like meditating, or if people are certainly exercising by walking around, how restrictive is our restrictions there? I mean, now, I don't think it's an official request, but I thought, well, these things come up from time to time and give us a chance to think about it. And
I think the intent was not to have the island as a location for recreation. So
would we stop walkers?
Well, as you walk the island, are you contemplating? I think most of people are. I'm not familiar with specifically what Tai Chi is, so
it's just like yoga or something like that. One of them is PTS. I don't want to go into the details of it, but I don't know if that's. And of course I told them I don't have the authority to give them an okay or not okay, but just thought I'd discuss it today.
I would focus, and everybody else may assist me with this, but the focus would be to take advantage of the island as it was intended to be, which is in meditation and reflection. As long as it is consistent with that, I don't see that there would be a reason to recommend somebody to go to the Riverside Park.
And it is a tempting, for cyclists and so forth, it is a tempting pathway to take for people, and if they don't look at the sign, they don't intend to show any disrespect. But
the way I've handled it, when I was dubious, I just approached them and said that this was the equivalent of Arlington for Vero Beach.
And so,
would you ride your bike through Arlington Cemetery? And most people are astute enough to realize that it's probably best to be consistent with that.
We're not going to be able to list everything on a sign that might not be there. So.
Well, one of the nice things again is we have this island, which is for meditation and restoration, and we also have a marvelous place for athletic things. We have a marvelous place right next door where they can do all the exercising they want to. So I think it's particularly if it's explained. We can't be there all the time, but most people know. But we do have the people who may be new to the area. But I think if you explain to them and let them know that this is a place of contemplation. So I think, John, we can get around it that way. Okay?
I agree with that. It's a time for reflection. So many people go there. They look at the past of their loved ones that have passed in wars or conflicts, and the times that we live in today, people losing their loved ones. You have younger people going there to the loss of their loved ones. It's quiet. It's very, very peaceful when you walk around or sit quietly. You can listen to the river there and just get your thoughts together. It means a lot to people just to have the quietness, especially if an individual loses a loved one just like within the last few days. Let's say they got some bad news from overseas somewhere where they lost one of their sons or daughters. So I think it's important that we just leave it as is. It's a peaceful place. Let's keep it that way.
We support you.
Okay. I neglected one point last week, or on the 23rd. Dominic Martirana passed away, and I know he has been a longtime supporter of Memorial Island and is a longtime veteran. So to the family, I just want to extend my thoughts and prayers. Curtis?
You hit it right on the head.
Okay. I appreciate everything that man has done, and his brother as well. So I think, unless I have one of you remind me of something else that I may have overlooked, this meeting is adjourned. Looking to my left and right.
Until July the 2nd.
We will meet again July 2nd. Thank you very much.
Thank you.